Hola amigos, this is TailsFiraga's, and today I'd like to talk about something a little bit different. I've actually had a list since E3 about characters that I want to see in the next Super Smash Bros. Game. So let's do that. These are the top 7 characters I would love to see in Super Smash Bros. 4. Now I've realized that not all of these are feasible options, but I want to make this a video anyway because top 5 videos are popular and I want to be one of the cool kids with a Z at the end for extra emphasis. So let's begin. Number 7 on the list is Ryu Hayabusa. While I'm not totally convinced that Nintendo will be working again with Team Ninja anytime soon, that doesn't stop Ninja Gaiden and Dead or Alive from being great games and some of my favorites. Ryu's always been a pretty awesome character, slashing through enemies with a sword as if they were made of warm butter. His games might not have ever been super duper popular, but it's always worth dusting off the old cartridges for some 80s ninja goodness. Very punishing ninja goodness. Ryu's agility, sword skill, and ability to use various ninja techniques could work well in a Smash Bros. Environment, especially if Smash 4 has fast enough game system. Number 6 on the list is Waluigi, and I'll say that I've always had somewhat of a soft spot for Waluigi. His old shtick of being the creepy, evil version of Luigi has always been kind of interesting to me, and the fact that he's a man with no real past makes it kind of fun to imagine what his relationships with other characters would be. Needless to say, Super Smash Bros. 4 having Waluigi would be a neat thing, especially because Waluigi is mainly in the spin-off games. In fact, I believe he's entirely a spin-off character. So putting him in Smash Bros., which is basically another Mario spin-off, would be a great thing. But I think the best part for a lot of people would be that putting him in the game would enable people to beat up Waluigi. And that could win a lot of people over. Number 5 on the list is Marisa Kirisame. This isn't a suggestion as much as it is pie-in-the-sky dreaming. But I'd love to see Marisa Kirisame from Touhou Project playable in a Smash Bros. Style environment. Now, once again, this is something very unlikely, but this isn't a list of most likely characters, it's a list of characters I'd personally enjoy, and Marisa's usually a very enjoyable character. Marisa's ability to cast magic could make battles fairly hectic and make her a long-distance threat, and I'd love to see a big ol' Master Spark tear across the screen. Unfortunately, the closest thing we have at the moment is skin modifications for Brawl, and while those model hacks are cool, they just don't do enough. Coupled with the fact that putting Marisa in a major game could raise Western awareness of Touhou Project, and maybe convince 1 or 2 people to actually buy the games, it could work out. Number 4 on the list is a character from an Arc System Works fighting game. This is a bit of a toss-up, because I'd love to see both Ragna the Bloodedge from BlazBlue and Soul Badguy from Guilty Gear playable in a Smash Bros. Style game. I realize that Soul Badguy has kind of had a chance, considering that there was a DS Guilty Gear game that kind of played Smash Bros.-ish. But I'd love to see either of these characters in a proper Smash Bros. Setting. I think the biggest problem, however, is that it's probably not meant to be, considering that the latest BlazBlue game is going to be exclusive to Sony systems, and Guilty Gear has had a track record of being more PlayStation friendly. Oh well, a man can dream, and their dreams might involve sheer heart attack or stealing people's souls. Number 3 on the list is Samurai Goroh from F-Zero. When I saw the preview screens for Brawl, they showed off Samurai Goroh. At first I thought he was going to be a new player character, and that was pretty exciting to, see. But it turned out he was just an assist trophy instead. It's pretty disappointing, and I've been yearning ever since for a day in which F-Zero, one of the coolest racing games of all time with a cast of quirky characters, could be represented by more than just Captain Falcon. Goroh's abilities with a Japanese sword could make him a more unique sword-wielding character for the series, focusing less on agility and more on being fat and having underhanded tricks. He'd have my vote for sure. Number 2 on the list is Little Mac from Punch-Out! Another character I saw in Brawl, wondering why he wasn't playable. Little Mac would prove to be an excellent fighter, especially considering the really awesome Punch-Out! On the Wii. Using the cartoony, expressive art style from that game in a full HD setting could definitely work. But the thing I'm most concerned about is how his moveset would be. Since his moves are mainly revolving around punching the opponent, he wouldn't have that much variety, much like how Mega Man in Super Smash Bros. 4 is mainly going to just use the Mega Buster from a distance. There's also a matter of how screwed the enemy actually is, because we're talking about someone who can take down Mike Tyson with his ears intact. Sure, there wouldn't be a problem for him. And number 1 on the list is Ryu Hayabusa from Nintendo. My main is Reggie. He's about kicking ass, he's about taking names, and he's about making games. Nintendo of America's Reginator would be a great addition to the series. I'm not kidding, I'm not even thinking in a joke character kind of way. His boisterous personality already makes him enough of a character on his own, and I think he'd definitely fit in with the rest of Nintendo's property. I guess he's Nintendo's property. Heck, he could even have attacks based on previous Nintendo games and systems. And I know that Nintendo is having some kind of thing where they're not going to be putting in characters that don't originate from video games, but I wonder if they could make an exception for Reggie. After all, there's no real proof that he isn't born from the video game world, though there isn't any proof that he isn't a real person either. Maybe making him a boss character, or at least giving him a cameo appearance, would be good for him as well. But I really just want to beat people up as Reggie. It would just be really, really fun. Anyway, there we go. There's my top 7 characters that I really want to see in Super Smash Bros. I'd list honorable mentions, but this is a top 7 video, so listing any honorable mentions would completely undermine the point. And I've already made basically an honorable mention anyway by putting BlazBlue's Ragna the Bloodedge on the list. So that's about enough of this list for quite a while. I'm gonna see you guys later. This is TailsFiraga's signing out. Thank you all for watching, and stay tuned when I do a video that's actually somewhat important. See ya.